I really appreciate you joining me today, and this story comes from Cleveland, the same area that we covered about the police the other day. And a new subscriber sent me a story from the area of Marske. I really appreciate everybody that does take the time to send them stories to me. These are the stories I like to bring attention to and to delve into. Stories with little attention and also with a lot of interesting factors to them. This murder occurred at the beginning of the month on the 9th of June. A man was arrested straight after a house fire that happened in Wheatacre Close and was attended by Cleveland police and emergency services. There was a large cordon put up in the area, and it even closed off Barnaby Close, and Marske is a seaside town with a very close-knit community. Forensics were at the scene. They erected a blue tent that was near the end of the terrace property as they begun the investigation into how the fire began and the death of a man occurred. Police arrested a 25-year-old and he was in custody getting questioned, but was later released under further investigation. But he was initially arrested on suspicion of murder. The fire service said that they got a call at 2:15 in the morning on June the 9th to reports of a house fire. On arrival to the address, they discovered a man that was deceased. His family were notified and were being supported by specially trained liaison officers, and police were not releasing his identity at that time. A 25-year-old was arrested immediately, and I don't know what the context of that was, because they can arrest somebody, it could be your friend that was there, and they'd arrest you just in case. The fire brigade were called at 2:15, and then the cordon was put in place, and the murder investigation was launched. This happened in a property that was split into two flats. So this is very common nowadays to turn normal 3-bed houses into an upstairs downstairs flats. It wasn't until several days later that more information began to emerge. Of course, as I said before, this is a very small community, so the police were very surprised when they didn't get a lot of leads onto who was involved in this case. And this was understood more when they revealed the identity of the man that was killed. He was Steven McGowan, and he was a convicted paedophile, and he was targeted weeks prior to his murder by vigilantes, they said, who had discovered that he was a registered sex offender. He had committed the offences back in 2013 and 2014. The 47-year-old was jailed back in 2013 when he was caught taking photographs of 10-year-old girls under the cubicle of toilets. And this happened at Splash swimming baths in the Stockton area. They said in the newspaper at the time that he was a peeping Tom, and he was jailed again for a further 5 years for child abuse 1 year later. So that definitely highlights the fact of why was he able to be even out if he was such a prolific offender. He should not have been out on the street to have done that the second time. The police believed that his past was revealed to his local neighbours in the Teesside area, and his convictions were posted on Facebook. A week ago, a police cordon was erected around his home, and the Blue Tent and crime experts were conducting investigations ongoing, but nobody in the area wanted to help them. They also received reports that his house had been smashed up several times in the weeks before his death. One witness said some people wanted him out and others were branding him a nonce. Most of the passers-by were aware of McGowan's sex offender status as investigators probed the scene. A neighbour who wished to remain anonymous said, "I know he's supposed to have done some bad things and some people wanted him out. The life he led must have been hell. I'm surprised he even stayed. I don't know if he reported it to the police." Speaking about the incidents at his home, somebody else told the Teesside Live newspaper that it's been going on for quite a while, at least a month. They used to come here and smash his windows up and they keep coming back. Neighbours reported how McGowan lived in the bottom floor of the house for a number of years, and he had a dog that died recently. Standing next to the police cordon, he said that he had mixed with people in the area until recently, and he believes that his window started getting put through around a month ago, and someone described him as a very quiet man. He used to walk his dog in the Redcar and Saltburn area in previous months before his old convictions were revealed. One neighbour, again, a lot of neighbours talking to the press, but nobody knows how he died or who did it. One neighbour who lived on a nearby street said, "It used to be a nice area around here, but it's gone downhill in the past few years." The woman who didn't want to be named said she heard a number of stories about the house, but said people won't talk in case they put something for your letterbox. Another man said, "You just don't know the full story." As he told them, he heard rumours about previous offences, but he wasn't 100%. So it seems that every single person in this area was fully aware that this guy was a convicted paedophile and it had recently been revealed. And in the latest developments in this story, they say the police have even referred themselves to the watchdog due to previous contact with the victim. So everybody will know that time is precious in these investigations, and the more time that is delayed in investigating who did it, the less likely they are to be able to make a conviction. So I thought this was a really interesting story and definitely highlights a lot of different things, and the question of should you be able to know if a paedophile convicted is living near you. I really want to hear what people have to say on this story. I'll be back again very shortly with some more news. Please don't forget to follow us online as well at Scarcity Studios for the latest updates and breaking news. Peace.